guys, Jackie and I am here with Magic City Hippies Day 2 Bonnaroo, enjoying some nice sunshine. So you guys are playing Bonnaroo, Lollapalooza, Bottle Rock, Sunfest. So most important question is, what level of SPF do you need to be able to function? I'm not going to mention, oh wait I am, that y'all just lubed up 2 seconds before this.
You know, well, they come from.
got you.
Oh, thanks. They come from like 15 SPF is the lowest, but I hear that's like you're putting olive oil on you or whatever.
Yeah.
That's
But
casual, you know.
yeah.
You got little Trader Joe's bottle for the face.
But this was 50 that we just did. But you know, it's crazy this year with all the festivals we got lined up that I really think this is going to be a year where we can really make a name for ourselves as like a live band to see, you know, at the festival circuit. So I don't think we need the sunscreen. I think they're going to need the sunscreen after. Yeah, there you go. I just thought of that.
Burn! You guys are going to get some very interesting tanning patterns with the shirts. Now, yes, very deep V's for 2019. There you go. That's a new slogan. We're going to market that. I love the different prints we've got going on here. Is there one spot that gives you the nice, good, casual button down, or is it just a hunt as you travel?
For me, it's Goodwill, or like this is my fiance's friend's shirt. She let me borrow it, so that works for me.
My girlfriend gave this to me yesterday. It's got parrots on it. It's awesome.
It's all over the place. I mean, we get shirts for like, you know, every stop that I mean, at least I do, you know, but like
I got it right. There's this place in Miami called Red, White, and Blue. It's a thrift store where you can't try stuff on and it's cash only. So it's like a real hit or miss. You just gotta like, grab it and walk out. So that's where I get a lot of my stuff. Red, White, and Blue, Miami.
That's a real gamble, but I appreciate that. Yeah, so we're going to get some nice deep V tans with some SPF. SPF also happens to be your most recent single. Second most recent single. Tell us about how that song came about.
Oh yeah. Well.
He's like, I don't talk that much.
No, a lot of stuff begins as we're not always privy to Robbie's like Genesis songwriting process. Stuff will just kind of appear as an iPhone memo that's, you know, maybe all complete or half mumble or whatever. But
I'm on my lunch break. I just worked on this. Here you guys. Here's the new song.
Right, yeah. You know, but it'll always have a great melody. It'll always have a jumping off point, inspiration-wise, for us. I just remember getting this iPhone memo that Robbie had this like kind of like boom bap 90s hip hop beat underneath it, this falsetto, and we bought a Prophet Rev 2, which is this like, you know, like super hip synthesizer. And we're kind of going ham with it, and just ended up with these kind of. We ended up reharming, you know, a song that was pretty much completely written, with some like Disclosure type, you know, pre-chorus, something a little bit, maybe a little bit more out of character, you know, for us than previous stuff, but yeah, ended up piecing together just this big kind of like 80s like spank Stratocaster funk thing out of it.
I think it's what we need, you know, for the summer. So is your songwriting more autobiographical or more thematic and broad?
Thanks, bud. I think that one is definitely about us and the people we know, definitely SBF and, you know, the trials and tribulations of being in relationships. But sometimes Robbie bring in this song, you're like, that's not about you, Robbie. It will be about like being in Miami, but it's like there's no way you did all of that. You didn't, you know, stay up all night 7 nights in a row. You know, like that can't quite be you. But he gets close. You do a whole weekend. I mean, you write the song, so.
I would say some songs are about other people, you know.
And sometimes you just don't want to claim it because ignorance, you know.
Asking
Also
for
true.
a friend.
Yeah.
Writing for a friend.
Just be innocent. It totally was not about me. Absolutely. What is one song that you would never play live of your own?
Ooh.
That's like already out, I guess.
The interlude.
Yeah.
Yeah, we did an interlude. So it's actually kind of funny because it's technically a part of Limestone. Limestone, I guess, right now is off of our EP from 2015 is like
The most
had
streamed
this
right now.
had this kind of late like boom or whatever, and yeah, there's like an interlude where we sample like the old Dracula movie from like the 20s or whatever that I think has like less than 1,000 streams on Spotify.
Imagine Robbie going up there with his like Transylvanian accent, like they're like, "What's that guy doing? Come on, get out of costume, take the fangs out, let's play this music, all right?"
So you probably won't hear that as a part of this set, but
So you mentioned streams that has the least amount of streams. What role does music streaming have as you put out new music?
Oh,
It's
yeah.
right now we're kind of a band that we haven't like necessarily pioneered the way you are a band on the internet and Spotify and on playlists, but we've been there riding the wave since the beginning. And the way the industry now, we're kind of a band that you ride or die based on getting on the right Spotify playlist and everything like that. We just released our song last night at midnight, and it got on the New Music Friday playlist, and within 10 hours there's 25,000 streams. Like,
It just that keeps us. I mean,
pays the bills.
yeah. To take this thing on the road and to try to be able to stay creative about putting on the show or you know, just to keep doing it. It's kind of the thing that recharges our batteries financially to be able to do it. So we're thankful for the streaming attention we get. It's really what like enables. It's what keeps this thing pushing forward and kind of gives us hope for keeping it, keeping the upward momentum.
Yeah, we're like one of the few bands that will be like, streaming is working for us. For the industry in a whole, it's not good for us to be relying on this. Hopefully, we can develop to something that benefits artists more.
I think the shares for artists is something that needs to be addressed. But it's definitely as far as how you make your money nowadays, streaming is crucial for us.
We just stream above our weight class, so we're making more money streaming than we probably should be because people are listening to the music. So
because of streaming, how likely are you to release, and I think I know the answer to this question, a one-off single versus something more recorded and structured?
Well, it incentivizes, doing singles because you're not gonna get a whole playlist or a whole album on a playlist. I mean, that'd be amazing, but I doubt that. So it definitely incentivizes releasing singles more, and we've been doing that for the last couple of years. But we do have the album coming out, and we've been promising people for years. And then even on Instagram, some person's like, "Yeah, I would love this song more if it was on an album," And then luckily last night we announced it. We're like, "I hope that guy's ready."
That one guy better buy like 10,000 copies the first Friday, or we're certain. No, kidding.
Yeah, it's about the core fan base. They care about the albums, and us artistically. It's a lot more fun to work on a group of music when you're sequencing it and you're looking at like how it all fits together and like the themes, because it is kind of a snapshot. Even though this one's taking a little bit longer, it is a snapshot of like those, that creative, span or whatever. So I think it means a lot to us to piece together a record and to see it a little bit more macro like that. And I think core fans definitely are into seeing like the whole, playing it from top to bottom like that.
I think also it's more creatively honest to make an album, because you make a single and it's done, you just forget about it. We'll make a song and then 3 months later, like, oh shit, how's this gonna fit in with that other song? And you come back to it and you keep working on it. And you make something that's a little more true to you than that thing you made 5 months ago in that one mood, and you're like, that's it, goodbye.
Speaking of that sequencing, is it more important to make one cohesive story for an album, or because of streaming, sort of showcase the variety that you have?
What do you think, Robbie? I bet you got some.
That's a valid point.
Because you could be like, here's all the cool different stuff we could do, or here's the one message we're trying to
I
send.
would argue that like it's cooler to have a message, honestly. And I think we do. I think we've figured out a way to, stick everything together in a cohesive message, and I think people are going to be really excited about this. So.
Yeah. I mean, just also, it's not like we're consciously trying to create like a concept album. The music is made by the three of us. 98% of the lyrics are written by Robbie. So as long as it's like honest to us, like it's gonna have some idea, because it's coming. It's not like we're like, let's make an album about the trees, and we're all gonna like get our tree hats on and think about it.
The process makes a lot of decisions for you, right?
Yeah.
Just like stuff that's more calculated or doesn't end up panning out, and that's kind of the special part of it. When we referred to it, I don't know, not in like a religious way or anything, but as like this kind of invisible hand, like toward the finishing phase when you're really narrowing down decisions and stuff for the record. It's almost like, oh wow, how did we even? Yeah. If you were to boil down like when did we come up with that, or when did we come up with that? There's always just this kind of serendipity.
Got a little bit of magic in there, that's all.
Our studio sessions also go like 4 in the morning every night, so I literally won't remember, because we all play guitar in the record. Like, did you play that? It's like, no, I don't know. It sounds like you. Maybe both of us.
All right. Oop, I lost my other car. There we go. So.
You guys ask the same question again if you
No.
want.
So what role then, we've got music streaming, we've got albums as a whole, what role does radio, terrestrial, regular, old school radio play? Is it something that you still aspire to, or something that kind of you think about and like, that's cool and all?
There's still some very important curators, in the radio, like KCRW, obviously, like KEXP. Those would be things we aspire to. I think we kind of wait to see some of our favorite bands like live in studio sets pop up on YouTube and stuff like that. College radio, we get copied on like the tweets of certain college radio stations and see what they're playing or whatever. So that's big. But I don't know. Lately, I don't know how substantial that's been for us right now. But that's definitely I don't know. I don't imagine that going away. I still love just kind of.
What's super cool though is when we get like a shout out from a Japanese radio station.
Yeah, that's right.
Or
SBF played in Tokyo.
or an
a couple weeks ago,
Argentine
yeah.
radio station. I mean, that is so cool. We love that stuff.
I would definitely say like here it's almost like there's different lanes in the industry, like you wouldn't like I said, we're a band that's more about getting on like playlists and streaming and having people who really love our music. Like we don't have to promote it a bunch. We've never really like had like a serious PR machine or whatever. It is people who just like the music, and being on terrestrial radio, you have to have a lot more like machinations behind you building up to it. So like maybe one day when we have, $1 million record deal, maybe that'll be the route, but right now yeah, it's the only way you get on. No, but I think radio for us is like something that we love, but it's not even necessarily on the path that we're on. But if it happens, that'd be great.
That would be great, yeah. So speaking of sort of that promotion aspect, do music videos have a role anymore, or is it just sort of a a kind of computer-based tool?
Yeah, I mean, I think videos. We're in the age of content, constant daily content. Just yeah, I mean, you have to have a visual, like an engulfing, experience of the band whose sounds you like. So that's definitely super important. It's something you put so much effort into the music itself, and then you're like, oh man, we have to kind of become like amateur videographers to get our point across. And
You got to think of a concept. You got to do the whole yeah, absolutely.
We're definitely more lost in the woods when it comes to making videos. You're just like your eyes are like, all right, here, no, Jesus,
Like, could you make it look more, vintage?
Yeah, exactly.
Slap a filter on it, and you're good. You're good. So we're out here at Bonnaroo. You've got much more festivals coming up. How do you go about choosing your set list for a festival versus a concert that you're headlining or that you're supporting where your fans, that your fans are in the audience versus a festival like this where it's really a whole general population coming together?
We make some changes to our normal set. Let's try to keep it up a little more. We'll definitely play. You want to start with a song that everybody loves. Just get everybody super excited. I don't know, it's interesting because we played some festivals where there is this more like exploratory crowd who doesn't know the music, But we played last night for 8,000 people who certainly seem to know the music, So we still have slow, like one of our most popular songs right now is a slow jam, So we still have to play that. But I find that as long as we just keep the energy high and we're up there kind of running around like idiots, people are gonna feed off that anyways, Even if you're like playing the ballad, if you're like, yeah.
Can you do that playing a ballad?
Yeah, oh yeah,
Okay.
we certainly try.
I love the good 80s reference. So what's up next for you guys after Bonnaroo? Where are you headed to next?
We're headed to Denver Deluxe Festival just a few days after, and then I think we're off for a while. We got one called
Peach Fest at the end of July in Pennsylvania, and then the next weekend we're at Lollapalooza for the first time.
Right.
Pat's a Chi-Town boy, so we're super proud.
That's a
And
special
then
one.
after that, we're on the road for a week with Thievery Corporation, and a road for a week with Humphreys McGee, and then we're hitting. Was that announced yet? Yeah, and then we're doing a 5-week.
Hope so.
And then we're doing a 5-week tour in September, hitting up kind of the eastern half of the United States.
Mississippi Festival.
Oh, also Mississippi.
End
There's
of
a
August.
festival end of August called Mississippi Fest. Yeah,
It's
2019.
basically the word Mississippi,
Yeah.
but they put a H there.
Super on brand.
Yeah.
Super on brand.
Absolutely. So we've got Magic City Hippies. Stay tuned for much more. This is Jackie. Thanks to Chorus FM and In the Key of Change.